one of the biggest ways that it's costing you and you don't even know it is that you're leaving so much money on the table. And let me talk about what I mean by that. Late fees. Late fees are huge. You're busy. You are working your job, you're keeping up with family, you're doing all the things. And so if your tenant pays on the 5th instead of paying on the 1st, or they paying on the 10th or whatever it is, you're missing out on late fees. Late fees that if you were using a property management software, it would automatically charge them. It will automatically roll into their rent. It will basically force them to have to pay the late fees. And that's extra revenue in your pocket. I was just talking to a client recently and I was asking them, they were telling me about a property management situation that they were having. And I was like, well, are they good tenants? And he was like, yeah, they're good tenants. They don't really cause me many problems. They do pay late. They pay on the 10th every month. They never pay by the 3rd. But you know what? I'm not tripping because they're just giving me an extra $75 a month because they pay on the 10th instead of the 3rd. And guess what? That's a whole nother revenue driver that can cover a lot of the things that have increased in real estate over the last few years. Maybe your property insurance went up. Maybe your property taxes went up. You not paying $5 a month for rental property software or even having set up free rental property software, you're leaving money on the table for late fees that you could be making in your property. Also, there's so many other amazing features that you're missing out on. You're missing out on automatic reminders when the lease is about to renew. For me, I actually really love it because when my tenants make the payments, I automatically get an email to say payment made. And it's like, oh, that's so good. You're missing out on that feeling. But here's the thing, whenever I post about how this is like you shouldn't have, tenants pay you rent through in this way, I always see people, y'all say the same thing. You say, I'm not paying anybody any money to do that. It's not a big deal for me to do my monthly bookkeeping per month. Here's the thing. You know what that says to me? It says to me that you don't value your time. It says to me that you don't know how much you're worth. But guess what? I know how much it is. I know how to value my time. I know what my time is worth. And do I want to spend my time having to chase down tenants, having to do additional monthly bookkeeping, having to remember in my brain when that next lease is due and when 60 to 90 days from now, we need to reach out to the tenant to see if they're going to stay, or I need to decide if I'm going to increase the rent. Do I want to have to remember that too? No. Instead, I want to have slow mornings, sip my latte, and hang out with my husband. That's what you're missing by not setting up property management software. Okay. All right. So I promise you that I will tell you some free or very low cost software that can help you. All right. So when you're looking for rental property software, it's important that you find software that has ACH capabilities, has auto reminders that automatically, flows into late payments and things like that. Some bonuses that are really, really cool that we love so much is property software that allows the tenants to do maintenance requests there as well. It allows you to be able to track your rent roll. So like again, if you go get a loan from a bank, you can automatically just download a report and then give that to the banker. We love communication through tenants because you want to keep everything in writing. I love portals that have communication capabilities where you can message the tenant directly, let them know the maintenance request this is the status, the contractor is on its way. Because we know one of the main reasons why tenants decide to move to a new property and don't renew is because of communication from the landlord. And so you being able to have those rhythms in place, it saves you time, and it saves you money because your tenants are staying with you longer and they're not deciding to move out.